enjoying my reactions but you don't feel like waiting a week for the next upload, that's cool, because I got you covered. Chances are by the time you watch this show on YouTube, I'll already have the full seasons available over on Patreon in their complete unedited glory. All you gotta do is become a tier 2 patron, and if you just so happen to be a viewer who wants to request things from me such as movies and shows, then you can take your loyalty even further by becoming a tier 3 patron. The ball is in your court and I'm completely at your service, so take advantage of these opportunities now. Yo, what's going on, you guys? This is your boy RBG, aka the Random Black Gamer, here with me, myself, and I on the ones and twos, and this is We Ain't Seen the Reactions, the place where I react to everything I've never seen. And if you've read by the title, you know what time it is. It's time to jump into the cockpit for more Mobile Suit Gundam reactions. And yes, man, the last time we left off, we found ourselves in somewhat of a annoying situation because, as you are aware, the escapees that are aboard the white base, they are growing very impatient, you know. They're almost like to that point to where they're just going mad with the fact that they're stuck with being isolated on this ship. And being that they are on their native region of Earth, particularly the old group of people, they really just want to get off this thing, man, and go about their merry way. Even if it means getting caught in the crossfires of the Empire and the Federation. I just found this episode to be very irritating, not just from the civilians' standpoint, but also some of the people within the Federation, particularly the character of Kai, who acts like he's all, like, I don't know, holier than thou, acts like he's better than everybody, and like he's about that life. But once he jumps into the cockpit of the gun cannon, aka the RX-78-2, he's shown to be a sniveling coward, man, and I did not like seeing him. I ain't gonna lie, I got a laugh out of him just cowering in fear, just being in the cockpit. But I also like the fact that we are seeing all these characters progress in some kind of form or fashion, you know. It's like, not just from like a personality standpoint, but also in terms of them being pilots, because Kai, you already know that even though he's very much green in this aspect, he's going to eventually get better. Just like Amuro is getting better, you know, he has the more advanced mobile suit, but I like the fact that Kai is going to also see that character growth in that area, you know, like I think that's what lends itself to the entirety of the Mobile Suit Gundam series and why it's actually spearheaded so many spin-offs and things, some of which don't exist within the same universe. I also like the fact that we notice, like, no matter what side you're on, at the end of the day, all of these people are humans, and we see that with the Zaku's, who essentially aid this woman who's trying to get back to her hometown with her son. You know, it's like, not everybody's just bad for the sake of being bad. You know, there are some people that have hearts, you know, because one of the Zaku pilots just so happens to be a family man himself, and he sees this woman and her child. He kind of sees similarities with his family, you know, and he decides that he wants to help her. He doesn't attack her like we think he's gonna do, you know. There's a lot of things that transpired in these episodes, so my recollection isn't all that good, but I do remember some of those moments because I feel like those were the highlighting points of those particular episodes. But with that said, guys, we're gonna keep things moving and grooving, man. Let's go ahead and jump into this next episode, which is going to be episode 9, actually, Fly Gundam. So without further ado, let's do this. Here we go. Fly Gundam. Yeah, Toby. Got the wolf pack over there. Dinner is ready. You better hurry up before it gets cold. Ah, that's so cute. I know he's feeling some type of way, man. This man hasn't had a lick of rest. Just leave him alone. Let him be. Exactly. Bruh. He's worried. You think so? I don't know, bro. Exactly. I don't think that. Well, then again, there are some rotten apples within the Federation. We gotta print out receipts to get messages. Escape the sea. Okay. No, it looks like you guys are on your own, man. Right. We're sitting ducks out here. Really? Yeah, I'll just let y'all keep up a lot of trouble. Just cause trauma. Just made up. Gun maintenance, huh? All you have is a measly tomato, which I feel like is a law that's considered a fruit. I don't like the fact that all the Japanese characters eat tomatoes as if they're fruit. I know they're fruit, but still. Yeah, man. Why don't you go do something yourself, my nigga? What's that? Oh, God. Lay low. That's one thing he thinks about. How he's gonna look in front of his sister. Oh, boy. Listen, my nigga. Really? You think so? I mean, he's tired though. Why can't he get a break? Damn, man, this nigga been in action mode for the past, how many episodes now? 8? You know, like, she should understand this shit. Right. It was never my duty to begin with. Yeah, get in it yourself, my guy. Oh boy, here we go. Why shouldn't you? There you go. Use your shoulder-mounted cannons, my guy. You have more than enough firepower. Come on. Damn. Damn it. That an insect? Really? Huh? Bruh, fuck off. You can suck the back end of my crotch. Really. Don't beg this guy. Don't even try to plead with him. Really? Damn! Why is everybody just talking so much shit to this guy? I got this. It's not like I have a choice, so let's go ahead and get this thing going. Yeah. There you go. Even Kai's on board. Zero. He's jumping again. It's almost like he can only glide or just kind of stay in the air for a limited amount of time. I like how much better he's getting at this. Yeah, man. What do you think, nigga? Yeah? Boom! What artillery are you going to use now? You're going to use the beams on your forehead again? Please get rid of Garma. This is your opportunity. Hey, Beam Saber. I doubt it's going to kill him, though. He seems like a reoccurring character. Yeah. Oh, God. Okay, gal. You don't say. No, gal can't hear you, bro. He's trying to press the button. Come in, damn it. Wow. Looks like it's broken. Here he comes. Oh, wow, really? Why, though? Who the fuck is this? Yeah, who's the redhead? Really? You're the one who failed miserably, sir. What do you mean you concur? What was he supposed to do? He told you not to do this. Yeah. Exactly. Bruh. Sorry, bruh. It's your fault. Oh, bitch. Char just kind of be low-key throwing shade, bro. Nice legs. Yeah, she's very nice on the eyes.
モビルスーツについては何の決定も知らされておりませんので現状のままです。なお、今までの戦闘記録はデビル将軍の命令によりコピーをいただきます。しかし、マチルダ氏、わかりますか？
Lieutenant Matilda, huh?
なぜ僕らも船も現状のままなんです。さあ、デビル将軍はホワイトベースが現状の戦闘を続けられるので正規軍と同じだと言ってました。
Really?
今は連邦軍だってガタガタなのですから、ね。
Oh my goodness.
私だってデビル将軍の依頼でここまで来ただけです。参謀本部とは関係ありません。で、次の補給は受けられるのですか？さあ、このジオンの制空権を脱出できればなんとか。ともかく、連邦軍にもあなた方を見捨ててはいない人がいることを忘れないで。
Yeah, some, which is probably a very small number. Man, Miss Matilda had to give me some. Damn. Yeah, that's gonna motivate him. It's a good-looking woman for an animated character. I swear she was just wearing pink though. What the hell happened? Did they just swap bodies with her and Fraw or something? Fragrance. Yeah. Look at her. She's so jealous. Amuro's becoming a man. Alright guys, so thus concludes episode 9, which is titled Fly Gundam, yeah. It seems like the Federation, it's not, like they're not trying to provide the resources and, you know, refuge for the white base assailants, you know. It's like they aren't really helping them and they're kind of telling them to stay there or kind of fend for themselves because that's the only way they're going to get extra support. So it's an ongoing battle, a very much uphill battle for them, and everybody is just growing tired, man. Like we've seen so many people just break at the thought of continuing this ongoing war. And the one that's breaking the most is Amuro, because this repetitive cycle, it hasn't really shown a lot of benefits for him. It's caused him to essentially regress mentally. You know, like when you're going through war, even though this is very much a fantastical kind of setting that we're in, where you dream of riding in these giant robots and doing these great feats with them, this, at the end of the day, this is a war, and war takes its toll on the people that are involved. And Amuro, he hasn't been able to get proper rest since he jumped into the cockpit of the Gundam. You know, it's like that has been the crux of his existence, you know, because Amuro, for the most part, he's always been this tech savvy guy. You know, he likes to tamper with smaller things, but he's jumping in the cockpit of this war machine and he hasn't been able to do anything else. He hasn't been able to actually gain his bearings because he's always, you know, kind of jumping at the beck and call of people like Bright, and we see them come to blows, which was very frustrating to see, especially with Fraud not contributing to things as well, because on one hand, she's worried about Amuro. You know, she wants him to eat to maintain his strength, but on the flip side of that, she wants him to jump in the cockpit anytime they ask him to, you know, and she questions his manhood because he says he doesn't want to, which it's very irritating. Yeah, I don't like characters like that don't think about the mental state of guys who are doing the things, as opposed to them that are kind of sitting back in the safety of these of this white base. You know, the white base, it's under attack, but at the end of the day, they still have people defending the base. But it was cool to see Amuro kind of get that motivation to go out there and do the job. You know, he has to become a man, essentially. So, yeah. But with that said, if I were to rate this episode, I would give it a solid S. Frustrating characters, particularly that of Bright and Fraud, but it's nice to see that resolution and to see Amuro get that motivation he needs by way of this Matilda character, who I can't wait to see again. You know, she very much exudes womanly qualities. But with that said, let's go ahead and jump to this next episode. It's going to be episode 10, titled Garma's Fates. So, here we go.
Garma.
Everybody's throwing a party. Okay. All the rich, snobbly idiots are here. Of course, Garma would be. We got people that are looking to be invested by Garma's dad. Oh, God. Sniveling idiots. What is this prancy boy over here doing? Excuse me? Oh, God. Why do they look so derpy? Who is this? Iselina? Iselina? I don't know. That's who all the guys want to tap. Oh. Like to sink my teeth into that. Right. Oh, really? Oh, God. This dude. Garma is kind of a player, man. Really? Wow. Will the owner of a red sedan come get your shit off the pavement? Bright Sun. What's showing up? Damn, what was that? Let's play ball. Just gonna park it right up in there. Alright, that's good, bro. That is so hilarious. Really? Boy, some of the shit in this show. Bombs away! It's like they're taking a dump of explosions. Young mistress. Really? Girl, you don't get your ass back here? She trying to follow behind Garma, bitch ass. Why don't you just chill, yo? Has everything to do with your father. You gonna marry who I want you to marry. It ain't gonna be no purple-haired pretty boy that looks more beautiful than you. Fuck you and your Cinderella complex. Yeah. Yeah, I would lay down my life for you, my nigga. You my OG, bro. I'm gonna be the brother-in-law at your wedding too, right? You be the best man. Right, let's not crash out over a chick. You know that's true. Mm-hmm. That's right. Okay. Get Amuro on the phone. Alright. Standing by. This guy over here hiding like a little biatch. Bring yourself out there. Show yourself, bro. Why is he waving his hand like that? Yeah. You've gotten a lot more efficient when it comes to this thing. Plow. Yeah. He's getting better and better too. It's not just the AI. Damn. Right in the eye. Wee-oo. I don't think so. Alright. Time to even the odds. Each. Here we go. Make it rain like a fucking 4th of July on their asses. Light their asses all the way up. Boy. Yeah, y'all better retreat. He really thought he was gonna do something. Damn. They let that thing go. Whoop. This might be the end for them. Really? So you're willing to sacrifice yourself? You're just gonna go right in? Yeah, he's almost like he has no other choice. He's gonna die. Look at him. Bye-bye. The misfortune of his birth? Oh my god. Bruh. But you are nothing more than a means to an end. Sometimes silver spoons can only get you so far. Damn. Get out of the way. About to go into ultimate crash out mode. Okay. Let's see if you can crash into the white base. I have to blow this thing to smithereens before he hits. I better get on one of these sentries on these guns. Okay. Fuck. There you go. Blast at the smithereens. Well, you won't get to marry that pop idol like you wanted. We just got to avoid the shrapnel and shit. Else in the chat for Garma, y'all. He tried it. He really tried it. Yeah, that was a close one. Yeah, hurry up and get your ass back on the ship. Well, your old boyfriend just bit the bullet. Garma-sama! I know Pops ain't sweating it. That's what his ass get. All's well that ends well, as we always say. Oh, that look cool. That means any of you other cats can get it too. Is that the father of Garma? No, is that his dad? No. Okay. I mean, Garma is just going to end up going bald just like his dad anyway, right? Saw that purple hair dye. Alright guys, so thus concludes another awesome episode of Mobile Suit Gundam, and this is episode 10, which is titled Garma's Fate. So yeah, as I expected, you know, like, this was definitely going to be like Garma's swan song, you know, his little coup de grace as he goes on his way out in the blaze of glory, which if you ask me wasn't all that glorious. I didn't really care for Garma like that because he was, for all intents and purposes, a very snobby character. A guy that's been raised with a silver spoon in his mouth and basically just rose through the rankings by way of nepotism because his daddy is, you know, a part of the Zabi heritage, you know, which is one of the more rich groups up in the Zaku Empire, or whatever you call that. Is it the Zaku? No, the Zeon Empire. I'm sorry, I always get Zeon and Zaku mixed up. But yeah, he just had that nepotism. And I like the fact that Char kind of like saw through him, and he was kind of like giving him backhanded compliments, and he delivered the ultimate, oh bro, you are nothing more than a means to an end, your life was basically meaningless speech to him as he went on his way out, which was nothing short of amazing. Like, we are definitely seeing similarities. You know, you can just tell that Char is that founding father of the guy who was dealt with a cruel hand, but he had to kind of rise through the rankings organically and kind of crawl to where he's able to be very much a social climber in a sense, but it's because he believes in himself and what he wants Zeon to be, essentially. You know, it's just, you see that in so many characters up in later series, and Char is essentially the blueprint to that type of archetype. Very good, man. And I like the fact that even though it's kind of unrealistic, you kind of see that Amuro, he's back on the saddle. You know, he's more motivated than ever, even though there still should be ramifications for these ongoing battles, you know, seeing him just constantly jump into the front lines of it all. But, you know, ever since Matilda, with her fine self, then stepped on the scene, he has no other choice. It's like, I gotta be a man, you know. I'm seeing these beautiful women. I'm developing hair in strange places that I've never seen before, so why not, man? Why not step up to the plate? Which is ironic and kind of coincidental because their hiding space just so happened to be in a baseball field, you know, a very barren baseball field in the ruins of New York. You know, very cool and somewhat funny. I have nothing else to add to that other than the fact that we're going to have to see the ramifications of this, you know, especially given the fact that the Federation has taken out a key player from, you know, the Zombies, you know, like the Zombie family airline. I'm pretty sure that Iselina, she's going to be feeling this. We're probably going to see her. I don't know, like, what's not to say she might become a pilot in exact revenge, because there's one thing we can say about these series. When it comes to the act of violence, it's going to breed more violence, and that's going to be by way of people who want to get that revenge for the people that they love, and they're going to jump into the cockpit. Wouldn't be surprised if Iselina does that, but then again, she might just do something else. She might just use her political power to make these moves in order to exact her revenge for her fallen betrothed. We'll just have to wait and see. Overall, if I were to rate this episode, I would give it a, I'm leaning towards an S+. Yeah, I'll give it an S+. But with that said, it's not about what I think, it's about what you guys think. What did you think about these episodes? If there's anything that I may have missed or gotten misconstrued, please, by all means, provide the proper context in the comment section below without spoiling me on things to come. But this is your boy RBG, aka the Random Black Gamer. We ain't seeing the reactions. I'll catch you guys in the next reaction to Mobile Suit Gundam 79. Peace.